they showed when they came off the bench?
Yeah, well, we wanted to have quality and had quality, and we wanted to have impact and new energy from the bench, which we clearly got. Of course, everyone was straight away there to have an impact. We created chances, half chances, and scored. And in the end, in between, we had also to overcome some moments and to defend until the very end, to defend our clean sheet. And a special compliment also to the back four and Jordan today. They had to really work hard. Our pressing was in the second half not always right. We let Serbia escape several times in the short build-up into fast attack. So that was quite some intensive input that we had to and some intense output that we had to give to be able to have a clean sheet and to win the game. I like it a lot because it was a difficult match, complicated match. Our opponent knew everything about us. We knew nothing about our opponent. We had to adapt. We had to be flexible, and we put a lot of work in the first half, especially to control the match and to be the dominant team, which we did. Maybe throughout the match we lacked a little bit precision in the last pass, in the developing half chances into chances. Otherwise we could have maybe created more and scored earlier to be a bit more calm. But I like it because it stayed tense. It stayed intense and a very tight match, because you could see the quality. They play all in top leagues. So overall, I'm happy about this test. It was a test, was an intense match again. Attitude was right. We showed some quality in decisive moments and defended our clean sheet. So, I'm happy about it.
Sorry. Hi, Thomas. Just on the bench and the sort of psychology around it. We've seen other managers call the players finishers. In rugby, I don't know if you know, but the world champions South Africa call it the bomb squad.
The bomb squad?
The bomb squad, yeah. I don't know if it's sort of the psychology of having players on the bench. Is there something you've done for it, and players who might hope they start but have got an impact to come off the bench?
Yeah, not yet. I've not named it in a different way, but I kind of like it. Like bomb squad a bit more than finisher. Well, that's the nature of this game. We will not the possibility that we go to Albania and start with 11 and finish with the same 11 goes to zero, and even more so in a tournament. And this is not about building a starting 11; it's about building a team, and that means that sometimes they're all big players in their club. They're all used to play. They're all disappointed. Everyone, this is normal, but they buy into this idea of building a team, and this is what we want, this is what we need. There is no other way around it. Only if we're a strong group who can put the ego behind, who can put the disappointment behind, and then contribute and give the coach a headache what to do in the next match. That's the only way. And I like it because it's natural for this team. The atmosphere after the matches, during the matches, is the right energy, and I think everyone is treating everyone with respect. The ones on the pitch know that they can rely on everyone who comes from the bench to finish the game. You could see the impact today, and it has to stay like this. We just need everybody fully involved, especially mentally, to accept the decision of the match day and then to continue.
Hi, Thomas. You had a lot of new players in the squad, namely Nico O'Reilly, who made his debut, but then also players that such as Adam Wharton, who maybe you haven't been able to see as much because of injury.
Yeah.
Away from the pitch, when just seeing their character and seeing how they operate around the team, what do you look for in players that you haven't been able to see up close in your squad away from the pitch, maybe around the group or just as on the training pitch? What do you look for in those players to let them know this might be the right fit for my squad?
Well, first we observe them. We have no other chance, either on our laptops, TVs, or live in the stadium. And then we get to know them in camp, and then we just encourage everyone. First of all, I think we already built a strong culture and a core of leaders within the team, define the standards, and they drive the standards, and at the same time we build a welcoming atmosphere for players who are new in camp, to encourage them to be the best version of themselves, because we want them to be top teammates. Nico had a fantastic debut today. He's a very calm person, for example. Seems to be very shy, doesn't speak a lot, doesn't speak out a lot, but is very intelligent on the pitch and adapted so well to all the new things we demand from him. So well done. And I think it's only possible if you feel good and supported within a group. And this is at the moment developing. So full credit to everyone. Camp by camp, we build a culture, and the players take care of their culture and of their standards, and then it's easier also for young players to come in. And we make sure that everyone goes in the same direction, that something special can maybe be built.
Ed.
Hi Thomas, just on Phil Foden, you brought him on as a false nine in an unfamiliar role. How did you think he did? Do you think it's something to work on for the future? Obviously, got the assist.
Was a good match for him, of course, because as you could see, also Harry dropped today a little bit deeper than normal, because they had also three midfielders, wanted to shut our three midfielders down. So Harry helped us sometimes to overload the midfield and then had a quick switch of play. So the chances and the acceleration in the game came from the long switches of play, long diagonal passes. Harry was involved in it. Later it was excellent from Phil. You know, with Phil, you just see he's full of confidence. You see it basically pretty much in the first minutes where you meet him in camp. You just feel him light. Just feel him confident. You see him smile. He comes on the pitch. The first touches are right. Second touches, all these movements. It's just a joy to watch. You can see he's competitive. He is full of confidence, and he showed it today. He can play against any opponent on this position. I like to have him in the center of the pitch. I like to have him around, surrounded with close connections with other players, and that's maybe his main strength in the moment. And he did well.
Hi Thomas, congratulations. You mentioned the clean sheet and how important they are to you. That's 7 clean sheets. If you have one more, it'll be complete lockout. Have you thought about how you're going to reward your players if they get an 8th clean sheet? Would there be a special?
No, I will think about it. I have 2 days, but I'm a bit superstitious with this stuff. I don't want to talk about it so much, because then it's one deflected shot after 2 minutes, and everyone goes, okay, we don't get our reward now. So, so for me, it's more important about the process, like the work rate and the discipline and the effort that the team puts in at the moment to defend. This gives us the chance to have 7 clean sheets in a row. If you want to have 7 clean sheets in a row, you need a bit of luck. You need a good goalkeeper. You need some moments, maybe offside, and sometimes a bit lucky. And you need 1-2 extra good saves. This is just part of it. But the most important is the effort and the discipline and the work rate to keep this thing going. And the support of the players is at the moment on the highest level. They really buy into this idea of define themselves also through defending, and that's the fundamental thing to be able to have clean sheets, and there is where the focus goes.
Hi Thomas, I also wanted to ask you about Phil. When did you have the idea for the first time to play him as a number 9? Because I can't remember him playing as a number 9 for Manchester City, obviously. And how much do you think can he really challenge Harry Kane to maybe even start important games up front?
Well, it's a big ask not to challenge Harry at the moment. He's in the shape of his life. The attitude, the work rate, the quality, and the finishing ratio is just out of control, out of this world. So, but even here, maybe to be a accomplice and together with Harry and to share some minutes in decisive matches, I had the idea several months ago, because I played against Phil in these kind of positions. I have the feeling in Premier League some years ago, and it was really, really tough with his little movements, counter movements, little runs. City was so dominant, and he had these little He had the positions in the pockets, the half turns. Then he was shooting. He played a 1-2, and then he did the little run off the ball and assisted. So it was you couldn't catch him. And when we made the long list with 50, 60 players, of course, it's outstanding quality. And I was hoping we nominated him for first camp, and then he had a difficult spell at City, and now he came back. For City, he plays actually in a deeper role, almost like as an 8. So let's see where this is all going. But I wanted to see him close to the opponent's box. I wanted to see him in the middle of the traffic, surrounded with a lot of players. And I think he did excellent, even in a game that was a little bit too open. But yeah, I think in matches where we need to unlock a deep opponent, can always be a choice.
Yeah.
Hi, Thomas, you've pretty much got the best record in European qualifying now. Do we take that for granted a little bit in this country? We're always saying that the opposition are no good and it's easy to do this, but do you think that's unfair?
Yeah, but this is, I think, not. I don't think this is special for this country. I think the big nations take it for granted to be in the big tournaments until they are not, and this of course happens. So for me, it's very important that the players know from me and they know from us, and they get encouraged in what they're doing, and they see it in the proof, whether we show them videos, whether we show them datas, and that they feel it, and they feel the appreciation from the coaches, also from the fans. Like I said, I think the work rate and the effort that the team puts in at the moment into any match, be it a private match, friendly match against Wales, or today a match that has no impact anymore if we qualify or not. That's at the moment the outstanding criteria and characteristic of the team, and I'm very, very happy with it. That everyone expects it. I mean, that includes also us. I also expect us to qualify. I demand it from myself. This is, of course, this is what we expect. But yeah, if you make it, yeah, this can be seen as normal, but that's just the cycle of it. It's just the nature of it.
In the back there.
Hi, Thomas. Another win, another clean sheet. Obviously, it's really important to maintain momentum. These games for England are dead rubbers, as it were, because England have already qualified. How important is it to keep that momentum going? And have you shaped in your mind teams you might be playing next year in friendlies prior to the World Cup? Do you have that in your mind yet? Do you need to keep the momentum going? Do you need to start playing, with all due respect to teams in this group and Wales that you played last month, top 10 teams?
Yes and no, but I think we are quite far with the friendlies. I'm not sure if I can say the opponents. I don't want to spoil any contract talks or whatever. I think the friendlies are more or less done for March. Tough opponents. If this is the case, you see that my focus is clearly on the November camp at the moment. I think that's anyway the only chance that we have. It's the only chance for me in elite sports anyway to just stay in the things that you can influence, and this is like today's performance again. I'm very happy with the attitude again of the team. I don't see any change of attitude in training because the game doesn't mean anything, or is a dead rubber as you call it, or is it a friendly? We're just keep on going, and team is desperate to have this to shape their identity. I think this is the only thing that we can do, because then we feel good. Today we're tired, but they know what they did, and they get the praise also for it to have another clean sheet, and they felt that it was a complicated, intense match for us, which is good. And I'm pretty sure we will be ready, and the team will have the right spirit to do it, hopefully again in Albania. With all the respect, it will be not easy. And from there we go. And then to keep the momentum going in between, I'm not so sure how we will do this, because it's quite a long time. It will be then on me to keep the contact to the players, stay close to the players, and stay also close to all 55, 60 players on our long list, not only of the regular players in camp, but this comes, I will break my head about it from Monday. Now it's just, it's important that The guys have a good recovery session tomorrow, and the guys who didn't play so much take the 2 days to impress and maybe train their way into the team, because everyone is desperate to play. It's a good sign.
Hi, Thomas. Dusan Uštević, Telegraphers from Serbia. Can you compare Serbian national team from game in Belgrade and tonight? What changed after change of coach?
Structure changed, of course, and then was straight away, of course, a new energy, like always. With a new coach, the language before the match was very patriotic. It was very straightforward. It was very clear and demanding. So we knew, okay, we then analyzed several matches of Oviedo, his last professional team, and try to predict what is coming. But that was a tricky part. We did predictions, and Serbia knew basically everything about us. I knew before, I said before the first game, there's a dangerous team. They have individual quality. It's a proud country. They have today a final to play, so this will just buy into their pride to have a strong performance today. They are strong. We could shut them down very, very early, and in Belgrade. Today we had to overcome a lot of set pieces. We had to defend a lot of crosses because our pressing was not always right, and it can also happen sometimes that the opponent escapes. So in general, it was a more difficult, seemed like a more difficult game, but the goals just came in the right moment in Belgrade for us. So maybe not possible to compare, to be fair, but I know from the way the result looks, and you will maybe try to compare it, and it was difficult today.
Okay, Serbian counterparts ready to come in, so this will have to be the last one.
All right, Thomas, just back on Phil Foden. I don't want to call him a plan B, but if you're ever without Harry Kane, is that now what you'd go to, or is it more sort of opponent specific than that?
Is absolutely an opportunity if Phil stays in this shape, in this form. I have no problem. I have some other options in mind that I don't want to discuss in public. Don't forget, we have Ollie Watkins, we have Welbeck, maybe more number 9s, also very different from Harry. So I think we will have options, and it will maybe come down then to who's in shape, what do we have already in the squad, and how do we want to share the minutes, against which opponents do we play, what do we expect from the match. But it was very good today.